compliment you because I think having listened from yesterday, you're the first candidate that has thought outside the box, trying to rethink that governance system of the Commission. And I want to appreciate that. And the reason why I'd ask you what was your experience in Ghana is in line with your thinking on how we may rethink the framework, having full-time commissioners, having full-time secretariat, and you'd expect good working relationship. So thank you for that. Now, I know KPLC, your turnover is quite huge. You are in hundreds of billions
yes, we are.
In terms of your turnover. Equally, IBC is one of the highly funded commissions because, again, as we have said, the expensive nature of our elections. So one of the challenges that IBC has had is issues of transparency, accountability in use of public resources. And if you look at the Auditor General report, there are a series of observations, key audit matters that the Auditor General has always picked them up. So as the chair, and hearing you, it's like you appreciate what the role of the chair will be. So how would you go about in terms of ensuring that the resources that have been given to IBC are used in line with the requirement of PFM, Public Finance Management Act, appreciating your role as a chair and that of the Secretariat and the CEO? Thank you.
I think one major challenge we have seen with the IEBC funding in the past is the fact, first and foremost, that they still have to rely on the exchequer for their funding. This reliance on the exchequer means if there's delays and you've got constitutional timelines, then other things start to suffer. So, for example, in public finance management, procurement rules, you have to go into the procurement process before you onboard something. But if it is in the interest of the political parties, some of whom are the ones in government who are going to be running in the election, and they decide, we'll keep this as our trump card to just, delay the process so that in the end it is single sourcing. And when it is single sourcing, it is Fulani who's doing it. So there's some of these things that I think for the IBC, we have to get creative in how even we apply public finance management. Let me give you a small example. When I joined Kenya Power, one of the things I realized is that the vendors have learned how to use the law to make everything as expensive as possible. So I may look through and see there's a factory producing something at 15 shillings, but by the time I go to tender, according to the public finance management, what I'm getting is quotes of 200 shillings. Watu wameachana na shilingi mbili, shilingi tatu, because there is a general collusion amongst them. Now, because I am bound by the principles of public, I cannot say no. If I go direct to the factory, I'll get it for less. Then I find myself in a conundrum. Maybe there is need to relook at some things, like, for example, for elections. If there's timelines that are being mismanaged, and you can tell there's an intentionality, there must be provision, or there should be a safety valve that we're able to do things more efficiently. Like I said, outsourcing most of our election materials, for example, is one of the things that I find rises our costs to levels that is unsustainable. We spend 2,000 bob printing one ballot paper. Countries like Rwanda, I think, are down to $1 per ballot paper. In the same vicinity as ourselves, you might say their circumstances are different, which I admit is true, but why not here? We've got institutions like JKUAT, where the work is technology. We have gotten to a place where we can refine this thing until the finances that we have are able to cater for what we have. The trust, the fund, the IEBC fund as well, how it is managed. When everything is run too late, everything is a rush job, then there is opportunity for pilferage. But if everything is done timeously and in order, and there's no delays, and there is proper accountability, then you find you are able to seal the leakages. So I think one major problem we've had is that people have learned how to use the law to benefit private enterprise. And when you look at an institution like IBC as a channel for procurement, then it becomes an issue. But in my mind as well, being so, like the other day we saw IBC defending their budget, and you hear a figure like 61 billion. You start salivating and starting to see what can we do with this. Maybe if the same was made so manageable that the figures are not so astronomical, you'd find a situation where the incidences of we need more money are less. But that said, the other players in the election process also have to play game. First and foremost, like you said, the politicians. They have to come to a place where their demands are less. Because why do we have all these ballot papers with all the safety features? It's because they demanded, no, this can be done like this, can be done like this. Who does like this? It is them who do like this. They also have to come to a place where they elevate their integrity and say, you know what, we will not be party to printing extra ballot papers. We will not be party to participating in this. Maybe we need to relook at our laws, election offences laws. Is there time to make them more stringent such that if you're caught in such malpractices, therefore, the hammer comes down so hard that it's simply not worth it. If you want to remain in the game, then you think twice about it. I think in Kenya we've made it too easy, or we've made it beneficial for people to benefit from public funds to a level where it becomes inefficient to run things, not just in the IBC, but this is across the board.
I wish you well and all the best. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, CPA.